we have been talking about the principle of rhythm and how rhythm is kind of a combination of pattern and movement. So repeating art elements in order to make your eyes move throughout a piece. Okay, so we had talked about the terracotta warriors in China. We talked about Rene Magritte, Rain Tebow, Grant Wood, and how there's items throughout the piece that made us look throughout the piece. So there's things that repeated that made us look from place to place to place. Okay, there wasn't necessarily a specific focal point. Okay, but we are jumping all over the piece, following these things that were all similar. Okay, so that's kind of like what we're talking about when we talk about rhythm. You're bouncing around the place, or you're following something. There's some sort of rhythm to it. Okay, so I have a couple examples for you guys here. We have my stack of cookies, and there's sort of like a rhythm with these cookies. My eyes are following upward towards the topmost cookie. Okay, I'm following this line. Okay, I drew an arrow here so you can kind of see it. Then we have right here with my bottles. Okay, of my energy drink, my vitamin water stuff here. Okay, we got my eyes following the bottles as they get bigger, so the movement goes right or goes forward. It's progressing this way. Okay, I kind of have like a flowing kind of thing because it kind of waves here, and this is sort of like a progressive as things get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, in your exercise, there's a couple parts that you need to complete. Okay, first of all, you have this top portion and got your definition of rhythm up here for you guys. And there's two parts to this section here. Okay, number one, you need to identify what art element is being used to create rhythm. Okay, is line being used? Is it shapes, colors, textures? Space, is it forms being used? So what is being used to create it? Okay, and then the second part is what kind of rhythm do you see happening? Okay, do you have alternating rhythm? Okay, so think of alternating. So alternate back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay, between two different items. Okay, so that's what you're kind of thinking of. Or is it flowing? Okay, things are flowing. Ooh, okay, think of like waves and that kind of thing. Things are flowing. Is it progressive? Gradually getting bigger or smaller. Okay, it's progressive. Okay, or is it random? Is it like all over the place? There's no exact pattern. Okay, I showed you my two examples. I have this flowing kind of thing going here, and I have this progressive image here, gradually getting bigger. Okay, so your answers are going to be kind of like this. So I'm just going to use the two first ones. So line is our first element of art that we discussed, and then alternating is the first one. So your answer is going to look something like this. So like line, and then A for alternating. So A, F, P, or R for your answer. So that's going to kind of like what it's going to look like. Okay, for this bottom half, you're going to start creating something. So I have some examples to share with you. Keep in mind that you don't copy my examples. Otherwise, it's a great way for me not to count your work. Okay, so come up with your own. So creating an alternating rhythm. So we're creating different types of rhythm down here. So you want things going back and forth between items, okay? So you can see how I went back and forth between my shapes I use. A flowing rhythm, okay? So there's a lot of different ways that you can create a flowing rhythm, whether it's with lines, shapes, textures, whatever you want. Progressive, so that's progressively getting bigger, smaller, okay? Rhythm. Remember, okay, if it's random, okay, what's the other part of rhythm that we know? Okay, rhythm. Okay, repetition of art elements. Okay, what art element am I repeating here? Okay, and then I'm repeating it over and over again. Okay, and it's random. Okay, random all over the place, but I have to repeat the same thing over and over again. So then we bounce from place to place to place, but it all seems like it kind of goes together. Okay, so if you have any questions about how this kind of worksheet works, if you have any questions about how rhythm works, make sure you let me know.